Welcome back to Hear Our Voices, where we tell stories, give resources, and change the narrative of homelessness. So, guys, I know it has been a long time. We're trying to get stuff done out in the back end. We were supposed to initially take only a month off of podcasting, but it has been a lot going on. And if you look at the atmosphere of where we are today, there's a lot going on. So I just want to give a small update of what's happening in New York City. I can't say what's happening all over the country, but a lot of things are happening, and you might want to use your voice to make sure that you can make a change in your community. So, again, my name, if I didn't say it before, is Khadijah D, and I am your host of this podcast, right? So, a lot of things are happening in New York. EHV, which is the emergency housing voucher, was implemented in, I want to say, 21. It happened in COVID. So it could have been happening in 2020, to be honest. I forgot that exact year it got implemented. They gave out a bunch of vouchers. Apparently, there's giving out vouchers in other states too. So it's not only New York, but I know in New York City, they're saying with all the cuts are going on, that you hear many different things. They say it's going to be cut by the end of this year. They say it's going to be cut for sure by 2026. I think the updated one is 2026. What happened was they're supposed to have, this is, if you don't know what the EHV voucher is, it's a Section 8 voucher, but a small version of a Section 8 voucher. So not the real Section 8, it's just like a in crisis Section 8 voucher. It's good for 10 years for people to use, and a lot of people got it, and it's very helpful and it's very beneficial to a lot of families, a lot of individuals who got this voucher, right? And they were told, well, most should be told, honestly, all of them should have been told, it's only good for 10 years. The problem is when this voucher was made, it's not made like a regular Section 8. It's made with a certain pot of money, and allegedly they say they don't have that pot of money because the excuse was given is because of inflation and how rent is going up. They didn't put that into everything happening. I would think that our government would be smart enough to know that rents go up, especially more in certain states, that they will make sure that they can cover all of these things. But they're telling us that they did not see this happening, so they just don't have the money. I don't personally believe that. I think they are smart enough. The money is somewhere else, or they just didn't really want to pay for 10 years with this stuff. I don't know. I don't work there. That's not what I do. So I can't really tell you the fully what happened to the money, but a lot of homes are in danger of losing all of these things. So that's one update of what's happening in the housing and homeless worlds. Um, a lot of people came out of shelter using this voucher. A lot of people came from different vouchers using this particular thing. Not like many different vouchers, but like probably, somebody has city FAPS and they went to get an EHV because da 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 da. So everybody's story is different. They gave a good amount to, I want to say, youth, DV, which is domestic violence, families, things like that. I want to say they gave veterans. Don't quote me on the veterans part, but I'm pretty sure they usually give everything to them anyway. So, and yes, don't come for me. So I know some veterans are not getting this stuff, but it's also a whole process. I'm not arguing about that part. I'm just saying what populations got what, right? So another thing is happening is called Project Crib. Hopefully it should be implemented in the summertime, and this is basically supposed to be a pilot program researching on how not making moms go to shelter, but it has like a three-prong approach. I'm not really sure how that's gonna work, but we're gonna see. I got some background on it, but we'll still have to see. I want to see how it's really implemented and really how it's gonna help people. But it's to make sure that moms do not have their kids in shelter. That's the basically the whole thing with that. They have the EHV, so not EHV, sorry, HAVP, which is Housing Access Voucher. HAVP. I'm sorry. Everything will be down below if I remember to put it down below. HAVP. It's so much acronyms. So sometimes it's hard to remember which ones are which, to be honest. So sorry about that. And but yeah. So right now, Governor Hochul at first was pushing back on it. Is we've been trying to get it for a while. I did an op-ed on it a couple of years ago. We finally got what we finally got some money. We wanted initially so much more, but I want to say we only got 50 something billion, something like that. So is okay, is the housing access voucher program. We asked for, like I said before, a certain amount. Governor Hochul was like, you can get it, but you can't get a lot of it. Allegedly, it's going to be a 2-year pilot to see how it works. I don't understand. We have to see how this voucher works because we saw how the other vouchers work. The problem we need to work on with getting when we do these vouchers is discrimination. A lot of people do not want to take the vouchers. So I think we need to give people education on how the vouchers actually work and how it could be beneficial to landlords. And the city has to also pay things on time. I think that's a big thing that a lot of times the city have these programs and they don't pay on time. Section 8 pays better. CFEPs don't pay usually on time for their things. So I think that's one thing that we need to work on in general on how things are happening and things like that. So yeah, they initially wanted a certain amount to make sure that we can help a lot of much more households, but apparently yes, we're not getting that right now. So we're gonna work what we have, and hopefully, and from what I hear, people are gonna be fighting to make sure we get more money for more households for a longer period of time to see if it works. But again, I think we're working on. Also, if you don't know that voucher is also supposed to be implemented compared to people who can't qualify for city FEPs, they should be able to qualify for this particular voucher. Um, I'm not sure if I even will qualify, but it's supposed to be a broader um like net of people who could actually qualify for this program. But we'll see because people say a lot of stuff when they're writing it up and when it actually gets to be implemented, it's something different. So I want to make sure that you have the actual information about it. So if you see something about that and you think you qualify for HAVP, definitely apply for that stuff. I'm very late with this one, but it's still um out there. If you follow me on my regular social media, I talk about this stuff already. I have a channel on YouTube called Truth and Advocacy. So it's those are much more. I will try sometimes to update those information, right? But we have, if you don't know, section no Housing Connect, right, has a thing which is is affordable housing. I put quotes around that because some of them are not affordable, but a lot of them are affordable housing for New York City residents. And you could be out. It's supposed to be a longer line if you're outside, but it's really for New York City residents to come in, and they get like they're on a waiting list and all these things. So that waiting list usually could take years. Some people they're very lucky they get it in months, but normally it takes years. It's usually for the newer buildings and things like that. Stuff that because New York City we're building a lot of high rises. Oh my gosh! Apparently they're gonna build a 70-foot, not 70-foot, 75 um tall building downtown Brooklyn, like another one. Like we don't need no more at this point, but we need more. But I feel like 75 like high like levels is a lot, especially for housing. I just feel like an emergency. I think of other tragedies we have had in New York City with buildings. So I just to me it's a lot. And yes, I know we need housing, but it's a lot. So I want to say, yeah. So because a lot of people they leave. Eventually, people don't usually stay in apartments forever. They do leave. Sometimes it's apartments are they're vacant and they're not leased up. So they have opened up a program with a different website because it's not on the regular Housing Connect website, and you can go there and actually apply for these apartments. So it's not through Housing Connect per se. It's the same Housing Connect apartments, but it's just a different way to kind of get it leased up. It was open initially on May 1st, and it'll be closing at the end of April 2026. So hopefully you jump on that bandwagon, and then hopefully you get your place. A lot of those places take vouchers because it's through Housing Connect. So that's another way of people who have vouchers to get housing. I'm going to say right now, if you have a voucher, you got to be very careful on what these luxury apartments you're getting, because a lot of times they want to put you in these apartments, but God forbid your city FAPs and everything you want to get cut. You need to make sure you'll be able to pay for this apartment without a voucher. And a lot of people cannot do that, so they end up back in a shelter. And I don't want that for you, so I be very mindful on how you do these things, right? So this is a great segue about city FAPs. So there's something going around for one of the federal cuts they have for city reps is 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 a cut, but also it's a like if you don't know, city reps is 30% of whatever you make to pay for your rent, just like NYCHA. I'm not sure exactly what they're gonna be doing with NYCHA, to be honest, but I know what they're trying to do with city FEPs. They're trying to make people go to 40%, which is for a lot of people they're already struggling paying rent. So 40% is gonna be kind of high. Plus food inflation, everything else is inflating. So I'm not sure how what they think this is gonna help, but if you thought it was hard to pay for people's vouchers on time, you end up going to pay for their social, like their shelter on, like shelter stay. And if you don't know, the city actually doesn't pay the shelter fast enough, so they also backed up in rent. Like the city owes a lot of people money. Like they owe daycares, they owe a lot of different people money who deserve to get their money because they did the work and they did the time for it. So we just need to have them accountable for what they are doing and how they're helping their people. You're here for the people. You're here to make sure the people can be good and the city to run right and smooth. But it seems like the people you're supposed to be helping is not getting the help that they need. So we better be mindful. This is an election year. I'm not going to tell you who to vote for. It's up to you. How do you feel? How do your heart feel? And which way to go? We had a mayoral forum a couple of weeks. I want to say last month, or was it end of March? I don't remember exactly. Right now we're in May. Well, I'm in May. So we had candidates come out. We're gonna be doing another event coming soon. We're gonna have a press thing coming soon. I might tell you about it. But yeah. So that's a little bit of what's going on in New York City. I'm sorry for the late updates, but some people, they probably this is the first time they even hearing about what's happening. There's a lot of cuts going on in Medicaid and food stamps that they want to implement. So just be aware of those things. And yesterday I went to a town. I did a town hall with Safety Net. So the next town hall, it will be June 18th. If you want to come out to that town hall and to see me, meet me in person, but also to hear what the updates are for New York City. Be a voice for your people, be a voice for your community, and make a difference. So if you want to follow us on social media, we would love to have you over there. I see that I have 70 followers. I don't know what happened, but I left for a little bit. I came back, I was like, oh, she does a podcast. So, guys, please follow us on here if you love to be a part of our family. Thank you for making us grow. I know 70 might not sound like a lot to a lot of people, but for us, because we've been struggling for a while, that is a large number, and we really appreciate over here on the Hear Our Voices podcast. Please follow us on YouTube. Please follow us on Instagram. Please follow us on Twitter and on TikTok. We definitely need the help, and we definitely want to get the word out. We want people to know what's happening in their city. And as we get bigger, we'll be able to do more states. But right now, we're very tiny, as you can see. And you got to think about funding and all the things that will go behind things like this. I know it's small, but it still takes money to do things. So think about those things when you're, following us. So thank you for being amazing. And we also did, if you want us to come to one of your, if you have an event, like an outreach thing, we'd definitely love to come there and flyer. If you're a person who wants to be on a podcast, we like to hear people's stories and hear how they are coming along and things like that. So we'd definitely love to have you on a podcast. If you're a person with a resource, we'd love to have you on a podcast also. So definitely go check it out and help us grow and be better. We can only make this work if we have a team. Thank you, and talk to you next time.